Alright folks, so in this week Zhiyun has given us a new firmware for the Weebill S, Firmware 2.05. And in their latest firmware they did more bad to the gimbal than they did good. And I pointed out exactly what they needed to fix in order to get the gimbal back on track. So let's take a look at the Weebill S Firmware 2.05 and see if they listened, and if you should upgrade your gimbal or not. Alright, before we just head into the nitty-gritty of what they've done with this gimbal, I just want to say one thing, and that is, I know a lot of you have been waiting for the Gimbal Academy, and it's coming end of this month. Just before my birthday, the Gimbal Academy will launch, and I've been working non-stop on this academy, and there's some good things in this. If you want to take the short route of learning everything about gimbals, sign up for the academy. It's a great thing. I will teach you everything I know about gimbals and what I've learned over the years of shooting with a gimbal. So sign up for the email list and I will notify you as soon as I open up the doors at the end of this month. Alright, let's get back to the video. So firmware 2.05 is out, and it is good because they've fixed some of the things that they messed up in the previous firmware 2.04. And if we take a look at the text that comes with the firmware, they only say that they fixed known issues. And I don't know why they don't just state in the text what they fixed, because it seems to me like that they know that there are some problems with the gimbal and they just try to fix it. And they really don't want to tell what it is. But we found out what it was, and there are three main issues that I pointed out last week or 2 weeks ago. And one of them was that it took forever to start up the gimbal. And they have fixed that, so I have the gimbal here, it's not turned on. So now I only have to press the button for like it's a second or two, and the gimbal powers up. That is nice because it took forever, like 5-10 seconds sometimes. But that works now. And the second issue were two issues with the front trigger here and the FN button. That was a triple click. If you wanted to change the trigger to just click one click and it went into follow, see now we're in follow, and you turn off the gimbal. Let me just turn off the gimbal, there we go. And if we turn it on again, it didn't remember those settings. It just went back to the default, but now if I press, it remembers the settings. And the same goes for the FN button. So it's nice that they have fixed that, but there's one issue that I've been talking about for like since they came out with their Vortex update, and that is that the Vortex mode doesn't work properly. Let me just show you this one more time. So as you can see, if I turn the gimbal in Vortex, the gimbal turns. It shouldn't be like that. It should only be when the joystick is engaged and the gimbal want to turn. So they didn't fix everything, and I don't know why they don't want to fix the Vortex issue, because in my mind it would be that easy. And if they fix this, they have a very good gimbal. That is kind of what they have given us, and they just fixed the things that they messed up in the previous video. And then the big question comes, should you upgrade or should you not? I get this question a lot, even though I state in these videos what my opinion is. And I would say like this: if you want to use the Vortex mode with the joystick, then don't upgrade to 2.05. Go back to 1.96, which is a great firmware. And if you ever have any issues with the gimbal, go back to 1.96. It really works. I have all the firmwares in the description. You can just go down there, grab the link and download them. They're totally free. You don't have to pay anything for it. You can just download them from here. So that is my recommendation. Go back to 1.96 if you have any issues with your gimbal. And Don't worry, you can upgrade your gimbal from 1.96 or 1.89 directly to 2.05 without it affecting the gimbal. You don't have to go through all the firmwares. You can just upgrade straight ahead. And you can also just downgrade to any firmware. It's not a problem. So that is what we have gotten this week. A slight change from 2.04, but a good change. For my sake, I will go back to 1.96 because even though I don't use the vortex that much, I really want the ability to have it working properly. And I really think the gimbal works very well in 1.96. In 1.96, you also get a bit higher motor settings. That means I can finagle around with it a bit more than I can on these ones. This on 2.05, you get the default settings, which is 16, 32, and 37. So you have some room to lower these settings, but it's not much. It's not a super heavy camera I have on, it's GH5. I don't see this upgrade as a huge upgrade, and I'm really looking forward to Zhiyun updating the vortex issue, and just give us a vortex update to this update and it'll be perfect. So that is kind of it. I have just given you a rundown of what you get. They didn't update anything else. I haven't found any issues with it. It works perfectly. All the modes are still there. It's smooth as it should be. So yeah, still a great gimbal, but we still have some problems to work with. And of course, hopefully we will get a Weebill S 2 this year, and I'm really looking forward to what they have come up with, if they keep this design or if they are going into something else. But we'll have to wait and see if they are going to come with a Weebill S 2. But in the meanwhile, we'll stick with the Weebill S. It's still a great gimbal. I still use it, even though I also use my RS-C2 a lot. I still enjoy using the Weebill S. Alright, so that was the firmware video 2.05. I don't have any more for you, but of course, if this is the first time you're here, remember to subscribe if you want to learn more about filmmaking with motion. And with that said, stay creative and stay safe, and if you can, go out and shoot some dope videos. See you next time. Bye.